Man, it's hard to believe the 2010s is now over. And there have been so many amazing movies I've seen and loved throughout 2010, 2019. So many beloved, incredible, outstanding, and wonderful films that I've seen, loved, and rewatched throughout. There have been a lot of movies that have impacted me in interesting and different ways, especially emotionally. Ones that are definitely on my all-time favorites list. Ones that I will forever rewatch and forever love and forever just keep getting excited about whenever I want to rewatch them. But in terms of what film truly had the most impact, in terms of fun, entertainment, emotion, passion, and most importantly, a huge reminder of why I love watching movies and why I love films and have such a passion for watching films and wanting to write and make movies, that would go to 2017's Baby Driver, which is directed by Edgar Wright and has as stars Elson Elgort, Lily James, John Hamm, Jane Fox, Liza Gonzalez, and Kevin Spacey. And you guys knows about a garage driver named Baby who has tinnitus and listens to music to drown out the noise and falls in love with a waitress named Deborah and tries to get out of this lifestyle. Now, I actually remember when I actually first saw it. I remember being blown away when I first saw it. I was actually able to see it in theaters, thankfully. It was like the last couple days of June in 2017. I wasn't even planning on seeing that day, because around that day I was seeing Despicable Me 3 with my brother Chris, my older sister, and the two nieces. And that time my brother wanted to see another movie and he wanted to see Grind Steel. And then I saw Baby Driver playing on close, and considering how much I wanted to see that movie, I figured I convinced him I could see myself in. I'm helped him to let me see myself in. Obviously, number one, I'm so glad I did. I honestly could not stop thinking about this movie after seeing it, and the film has become one of the most watchable movies I've ever seen, period, and especially of this decade. These are the film I've watched the most at any film. And I'm sure you guys are wondering why this film is my favorite and best film 2010s, because I'm sure most of you are like, really? Baby Driver is your number one? Because this film is definitely loved and praised by many. It's really hard to find someone that honestly flat out doesn't like or hate this movie. But some wouldn't likely put it high up on the best films of 2010s, period, or not on the list at all. And today I'm here to discuss why this film is my number one film of the 2010s. I kind of want to do more feel like this, where I do this more laid back analyzation style. I kind of do that after the last couple of years, but I haven't really been the greatest. But basically, I'm going to discuss reasons as to why I adore this movie, why it's my favorite Edgar Wright movie, and why it is my favorite film of the 2010s decade. And I hope you'll enjoy and let me know if you want to see do more videos like this down the road. I'm basically going to invite just a few sections of stuff I love about the movie and stuff I appreciate about it. And then overall I'm going to overall why Baby Driver is my favorite film of the 2010s. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Edgar Wright is one of the best filmmakers working today, and possibly the very more working today, period. He has made classic after classic with the amazing Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Old Zen, of course the highly overlooked Scott Pilgrim's the World, but it's also an all-time favorite for me, not just a decade but films in general, and pretty much all the films I've given my highest graded rating to. And all the films are also put in my all-time favorite films list. I mean, he has a horror film coming out next year, which, that was why it's high on my most anticipated list that year. And one of the main things that makes Edgar Wright such an amazing director is his style. The way he uses that style really enhances every scene and every frame of the film. And it's so good you can't take your eyes off the screen. And it's also the way he edits his movies is what makes them stand out. And Baby Driver is a perfect example of what editing can do at their absolute best. With the cuts and the one-take sequences, especially, and how Wright uses it to structure his story and his characters and his attitude, which is honestly mind-blowing, and you wonder how he was able to do it, and it makes it seem so easy, and how he uses an action sequences from the beginning car sequences to the and how he uses an action sequences from the beginning car sequence to the Catila sequence, of course, the last one, makes those scenes more unique and more exciting and thrilling than they should be. Another thing that Edgar Wright excels at is with the storytelling department. Managing to tell stories that could be just simple stories, but he managed to do out-of-the-box ways to make the stories unpredictable and exciting, and Baby Driver is no exception to this. I said this many times, but I don't mind when a story is predictable, honestly, as long as I'm overall entertained all movie. But it's kind of like at the same time, I love it when a story gets unpredictable, and it goes directions to characters shift in ways that you would never even think of, especially while watching a movie. And again, this film is truly no exception. For not knowing what Kevin Spacey's dog is actually thinking and truly loyal to, like, you probably think he could end up being the main bad guy, but he really isn't. And then not only what Jamie Foxx's best crazy be able to do next and kind of how crazy he is, and the fact that when Baby actually kills him while in the car, which is what they're telling him while they're doing a heist, like, hey, kill, move, and then Buddy ends up becoming the true bad guy. He ends up wanting revenge after his girlfriend Monica, played by Leslie Gonzalez, gets killed, which is understandable, and it makes the fall of that more unpredictable and more crazy experience that you never know where it could happen on. So, I mean, that's one that Edgar really does sell at, and he definitely, it's probably his best he's done here, honestly. A story is very important, but the most important factor in any form of entertainment is crafting interesting characters where you can remember their name and where the actor really disappears into their roles, and more importantly, characters that you can latch on to and care about. In Baby Driver and Mel, even the minor characters have so many memorable ones. I mean, even John Berthold's Griff is memorable, especially his limited screen time, and sure, there's kind of little part of me that probably wish he was in it more, honestly, but from Scott that, he easily stole the show, honestly. And even the other ones that thought brings in hilarious and memorable, but I remember discussing the high memorable ones in terms of the main cast. Of course, we got Baby, played by Ansel Elgort, who was known before this being in the Divergent film, Dan Falls from No Stars, and he plays a getaway driver who has tinnitus, and he ends up playing music to drown out the noise. And he has fun making his own songs, which kind of makes him pretty relatable, especially from the kind of lines of "Was it low?" And Edgar does an excellent job of making you care about him. Like, from the opening scene alone, it's like, you know, the bell bottoms, like, I'll get more on the soundtrack later, but he does that, it makes you really care about him just like that. And they also do a great job giving him a lot of history and backstory that makes you more intrigued by him, especially when the film goes on, especially why he has tinnitus, and is it actually all the other characters, and the stuff involving his mom, and what happened to her, which is very emotional. And then you have Deborah, played wonderfully by Lily James, who probably gives her best performance here. Who is another character that we know at least enough to where we do care about her, and isn't just like a standard love interest, just there to romance the main character, has no personality, no intrigue, and it's just there. But they truly do excellently with giving them natural and organic scenes that do build their romance, to where it's believable, loving, you can get invested with them. This is basically, in my opinion, everything that a romance really should be. Love, to where it's believable. I mean, there's a reason why they were my favorite movie couple of 2010s was for nothing, and they're definitely high up my favorite couples all time, period. Every conversation, every moment, small and big, is very compelling and keeps you invested in their relationship. So when all the crazy stuff happens, you are invested, you are tense, you are scared of what's going to happen. And you also get great supporting ones. They got Leslie Gonzalez as Monica. Again, I'm already going to do too much about her. As I said before, we know enough of her to where we do remember the character and her personality, and Gonzalez gives a phenomenal performance. And when he doesn't die, it does leave an impact. And you also got John Hamm's Buddy, who's a varsity one, because not only him, probably the only one of his best performances here, and having a actually very sweet relationship with Monica. But like I said, in the unpredictable storytelling portion, he basically was a really nice, cool guy, especially towards Baby and how he was always acting towards him. But when Baby ends up killing Bats, it takes a turn that nobody was expecting, like, man. And speaking of Bats, who is played by the beloved Jamie Foxx, gives a performance that in a way should be just way over the top, but Foxx makes this guy who you love to hate very charming and likable. And he gets many cool lines, like, of course, do I know freaking thing about freaking Barbra Streisand? Like, that line is so hilarious. And of course, we have Doc, played by Kevin Spacey, which is a name that is questionable to many people nowadays. and understandably so. But my opinion, but not about that. I'm not here to talk about that whole thing. But Kevin Spacey delivers a great performance here as Doc. And he's someone that you never know what he's thinking or what he'll do next, and it makes him kind of scary at times. And they do a great job of establishing relationships between him and Baby and why Baby is kind of working for him in the first place. And he ends up getting some of the most quotable lines from like, "Retarded means slow, was it slow?" And of course, "That's my baby." But it makes sound weird saying, but and of course, cannot forget, "Stop family lines of Monsters Inc. It pisses me off." Yeah. Oh, and I cannot forget about Joseph, who is Baby's disabled foster father, who kind of just interactions between them, like kind of do like sign language when they talk, and interactions between them are not only so sweet and make the film a lot more real, but are easily some of the most funniest parts of the entire film. And another thing I have to quickly discuss is, of course, the action, which is easily some of the best action I've ever seen in any film ever. I mean, there's a reason why I put Tequila as not only my favorite moment from the movie and my top 10 best moments list on this movie I did a while back, but also my favorite action sequences of the 2010s. And it's probably in my top 10 best action sequences of all time, period. Honestly, it's not good, honestly, but don't take away from every action sequences, like from the opening sequence to the involving mask, involving like, "This is Mike Myers, this is how we mask." Oh, is it? No, like that's also hilarious parts. Of course, TLC, the whole big chase after Ben Steph, trying to escape the police, and from Buddy are truly outstanding. Again, since the ending I mentioned about the directing, editing, and how it's handled. It's based on how action sequences should be in general, in my opinion. And of course, I cannot talk about Baby Driver without talking about the soundtrack. Okay, now every time I was planning doing a top 10 best soundtracks of 2010s, I don't know if I'm gonna at least on the video. But honestly, just know Baby Driver will actually top that list. I think I'm sure most of you want to be right for that. But soundtrack is basically its own character in the movie. Inserting music in the film can go in different ways. I mean, they can use it easily to create emotion and atmosphere and fun energy, or they could just end up coming extremely forced in the way to just force the emotion out of you and force the energy out of you and all that, and but basically trying to force emotion out of you. But thankfully, this film is the former. Obviously, like you can get a see the soundtrack from the opening sequence where they play bell bottoms, bell bottoms, bell bottoms, damn, oh, bell bottoms, bell bottoms, oh. Like that's amazing. And yet stuff like a hum shuffle sequence that's playing after that opening sequence. And then you get other great songs like Carl Thomas's "Baby Everywhere," T-Rex's "Deborah," Dam's "Neat Neat Neat," the Bunny Brass's "That's Katila," "When the Hallways Every Little Bit Hurts," Blur's "Intermission," the Commodore's "Easy," Barry White's "Never Ever Gonna Give You Up," and of course, Sky Fifth for "Easy," which is my favorite out of the soundtrack, honestly. One of the best covers I've ever seen, honestly. But basically, every song they insert here adds a unique layer to the movie. Like, this is probably some of the best use of music I've ever seen in any movie, period. And the way they insert it here and use these songs, it made me seem that are already filled with emotion, neatness, built with so much emotion, neatness. Like, this is really the best thing you can do with music if you want to put it in a movie, and Baby Driver is one of, if not the best example. Now, despite all that I said, I'm sure most of you are still wondering, like, especially if you saw my top 25 best films of the 2010s, so I'm wondering, why is Baby Driver my favorite 2010s? Like, why do I love more than films like 50-50, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Logan, La La Land, A Star is Born, Into the Spider-Verse, A Great Expansion, and especially Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, Avengers Endgame, Inside Out Whiplash, films that you praise constantly? Like, there are definitely a few aspects from those films, well, technically in a few ways, in terms of like endings, in terms of other stuff, they are better than this movie. Like, the other few of these movies that are definitely better, I'm not gonna lie on that. But if you follow my channel for the longest time, the one thing that makes the film rise a lot for me is the amount of impact it has on me. Again, there have been so many movies I see that have impact on me in terms of emotion and passion, especially the ones that rewatch constantly. But the reason Baby Driver is the best for me in terms of impact and emotion, and along that I love the passion it represents to it, it's because I've always loved watching movies. I've always loved giving my thoughts and discussing movies the last few years. And despite that being a singer or songwriter is my main goal, like that's my main goal, is to be a singer songwriter. A filmmaker and writer has been another big dream of mine. It's something I actually dreamed before I wanted to be a singer, actually. And this film honestly reignited my love for writing my own ideas on films, short and shows. Like, I actually currently writing scripts, actually. Yeah, I'm actually gonna look at writing scripts, actually, as I'm filming this. I kind of wanted to do that last year, but it's still getting in the way of me doing it, but I definitely won't plan on doing that again this year. I'm definitely excited to do that, honestly. And I think that alone why Baby Driver my number one, because how much it inspired me and how much it truly impacted me on that level. It honestly grows on me the more I watch it and the more I think about it. It's honestly slowly kind of more high on my favorite films of all time list, honestly. It's that good in my opinion. Again, I'm probably going to be the only one that will have Baby Driver as my number one best favorite film of the 2010s decade. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie, honestly. Hopefully I can give no reason of why this movie is my number one for me. It's truly on the impact and the amount of emotion it laid on me, and the fact that it really inspired me so much. And there are definitely a lot of films that have inspired me this year. But in terms of, if I had to rank it, what inspired me, it definitely goes to Baby Driver, and all the reasons why Baby Driver, as mentioned before, is why Baby Driver is my number one best and favorite film of the 2010s decade.